What's up, everybody? This is David Corob from the Steelers Sanctuary Podcast, and this is going to be your Fantasy Football Week 6 segment I'm going to do to give you guys some advice. So let's get into it. For QB, I'm going to recommend going after Jimmy Garoppolo. 32% rostered in leagues, put up 18 points last week, facing a Falcons team that's 11th in points. They're allowing an average of 18.83 points. So Jimmy Garoppolo is one guy that I would definitely target if you need a fill-in QB. Another guy I would look at, believe it or not, is Daniel Jones. He's 25% rostered. Got a 2-game winning streak going on. He's put up 12-plus points against the 26th ranked Green Bay last week and put up 21 against the 16th ranked Chicago team. And he's now going to face a Baltimore team giving QBs an average of 21.99 points a game. So I would actually give Daniel Jones a consideration if you're desperate for a quarterback to plug and play. Running back position. For stash, I'm looking at Jaylen Warren from the Steelers. 9% rostered. He had 10 points last week against Buffalo in PPR leagues. He's outperforming Najee Harris, to be honest. He's averaging 4.9 yards a carry. Already is now the third down back, and Mike Tomlin said that he'll be having a bigger role moving forward. So I would, for stash, I'd definitely look at Jaylen Warren to add if you have an extra spot where you could put him there. Another running back, it's going to be the same one that I mentioned last week, Mike Boone from Denver. He's 36% rostered, so he's still not rostered in a lot of leagues, guys. He had 12 points last week, splitting carries with Gordon, because he took Javonte Williams' place. And he's facing a Chargers defense that's number 1 in points to running backs with an average of 32 points a game, guys. This Mike Boone guy, he's a speedster. He can move. He's going to get you reception points. I would go grab him right now if you're desperate to have a running back to play this week. So that's who I'd recommend for running backs. Going to wide receiver. If he's still on your still available, Jacoby Myers. He's 66% rostered in Yahoo leagues. He had 24 points last week in PPR leagues. He's facing the Cleveland defense. Is 15th in the league, giving up 32 points a game to wide receivers, and he's getting a massive amount of targets, guys. So I would definitely, if Jacoby Myers is there, I'd snag him, plug him in and play. Another guy is Alec Pierce from Indy. He's 27% rostered, but the last 3 games he's put up 16, 12, and 9 points. So that's pretty good for a guy that's not real known. It's still on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues. He's becoming a favorite target of Matt Ryan. He had 9 targets last game, and he put up 81 yards against a tough Denver defense. So that's pretty good. So that's another guy that I would look to add if you need a wide receiver. Tight ends. So this probably should be a little obvious, but I'm seeing that he might still be available in some leagues. At Taysom Hill, it says 75% roster, so there's still leagues that he's not there. So maybe it's your league, maybe you get lucky. He put up 36 points last week. Coach Triplett said that he'll continue to have a big part in the run game going forward, and they're facing a Cincy D that's 10th in points to tight ends, giving up an average of 13.62 points per game. So that on top of him rushing a lot might be a good idea to go ahead and grab him as soon as possible. Another tight end, Evan Ingram. He's 28% rostered. This guy used to be the tight end for the Giants, and now he's with Jacksonville. He had 12 points last week and faces an Indy D this week that's 6th in points to tight ends, and an average of 16.24 points. If Evan Ingram is healthy, he could be a pretty good pickup for you going forward. So that's it for tight ends. Defense. Chicago, 19% rostered, facing Washington team, 4th in points to defenses at 9.80 points average. It's a home game for Chicago, so it should be a good setup for them to do well. They're probably projected for about 6 or 7. I'd probably see them put 10-plus points up. New England is the other one, 56% rostered. Not a good matchup against Cleveland this week, but you stash them and save them because then they got the Bears, Jets, and Indy on the schedule coming up afterwards, which should be teams that they should put up multiple points against. For kickers, Lutz, 13% rostered, facing a Cincinnati team at home, number 1 in points to kickers, an average of 13 points a game. So I would definitely look to snag him if you need a kicker to plug and play this week. Last one is Jason Myers. I said him last week. I'm going to say him again this week. He's 6% rostered. He's put up 10, 14, and 11 points in the last 3 games. He's got a home game against a crappy Arizona defense, so he should be getting plenty of chances to kick field goals. So that's all I got, guys, for players you could go add this week. For my picks that hit last week, Geno Smith, I said to pick him. He got 30-plus points when he was projected for 20. Mike Boone, like I mentioned earlier, he had 12.59 points. He was only projected for 6. Josh Reynolds, wide receiver, he got 15, projected for 11. And then Jason Myers got 10, he was projected for 6. And Brett Meyer was projected for 7, and he got 11 points. So those are my picks from last week that hit, guys. I hope I'm continuing to help you guys. If you got any questions, feel free to message me on Twitter or on here. Take care, guys. I'm out.